He decided on a cremation tattoo, but the only artist specialized in integrating ashes into tattoo ink is in Winnipeg.
It includes a polarizing piece depicting a crucifix floating in urine being shown for the first time in Atlantic Canada.
I saw an ad on Facebook of Mark Carney telling me that if I invested $350 Canadian, it would be backed by the Bank of Canada.
She believed her investments had almost doubled, but in reality, she had been scammed out of $900,000.
You are listening to Keep Canada Weird.
Handsome Aaron Airport. Not only is it Keep Canada Weird episode 220, we're recording this on Canada Day, which we probably should be making a big deal about. So let me just say to you right now, and to everyone listening, although you'll be hearing it a couple days from now, Happy Canada Day.
Yeah, happy nation's birthday. It's very exciting. Did you do anything special today?
I did. I actually went downtown. I wanted to see what all the brouhaha was about. Halifax waterfront this time of year is always exciting. Of course, the city makes a big deal about Canada Day. So I actually suited up my sweet girl Penny and took her downtown. And this was a bit of a challenge because taking a dog in a busy concrete jungle like Halifax is a challenge, and she passed with flying colors. She didn't bite any kids. She only barked at a few dogs, and yeah, the whole thing went great. Did you do any special Canada Day stuff?
No, I didn't. I relaxed for most of the day, and I did get a nice walk in at the lake near me, and I watched a World War II documentary series that I've been watching. It has new episodes released every week, so I've been catching up on that and very much enjoying that. I'm in a big World War II kick right now, watching this series, listening to some podcasts, getting very refreshed and educated on all things World War II.
Well, that's interesting. The historians will say one way to prepare for the future is to understand the past. So I guess that's what you're doing. You're ready for when the animals really get wild. I guess we'll turn to you for some interesting strategies. But that's not very Keep Canada Weird. And that's what we're here to do tonight. We're here to celebrate the unique, offbeat, unusual, sometimes very cringeworthy stories that played out across the past week, across this great nation. And as I said at the top here, this is our 220th time doing this. So I just want to say a few things about that. First of all, 220 or 220 is the overlay area code for Central and Southeastern Ohio. Do you know what an overlay area code is?
I would assume maybe it's I'm going to get totally guessing. I have no idea.
Go
so
for
I'm going to
it.
totally guess.
That's what we do here.
Yeah, that is what we do, actually. That sums it up perfectly. An overlay area code would be an area code invented to cover a small area that isn't covered by the already... No, let me finish.
Okay.
This area code is created. I got that's
yeah, you're wrong. What an overlay area code is basically when the current area code runs out of new numbers, they drop another one in there. In 2015, Central and Southeastern Ohio had too many phone numbers, so they created the 220. Just like our episode 220. What happened with us, this is like an overlay episode. There was just too many weird Canadian news stories for the past 219 episodes. We had to do it again. The only other relevant thing I have about the number 220 is my car. I got a new car over the last year or so, and it has like a battery that you need to charge because it does like the hybrid electric engine thing. 220 is like a popular voltage that EV car owners will upgrade their home outlets to so they can fast charge their cars. So a shout out both to the people in Ohio that use 220 and people who have electric cars that are upgrading their outlet by their car to 220.
Right.
That's all I want to say about numbers.
Okay? All right. Well said.
Let's get into special drinks. That's something that is much less divisive at the beginning of these episodes. I told you I went downtown Halifax today to explore the Canada Day festivities with my girl. That's not the only reason I went down there. A little bird told me that there's a specialty shop that sells extra special drinks, and I'm about to blow your goddamn mind, Handsome Aaron Airport. Why don't you go first and we'll build up to mine? I don't mind building it up because I'm ready to deliver here.
Yeah. Well, I do have a special drink. I think I've had it on the show once before. A lot of shops were closed today in Canada Day, so I did try my best to find a special drink in the limited stock of special drinks that I have on an open day here in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. But I did find a sugar-free Fresca natural grapefruit flavor. You don't look impressed, but I'll open it up and...
That's okay. It's pretty special, yeah.
Okay, all right. Thanks for acknowledging that. It smells good. Let's refresh my memory. Refresca my memory.
I will say Fresca's great on a hot day. It's a refreshing drink. I'll give you that.
And it's tasty too. And it's sugar-free and caffeine-free as well.
I'm holding something in my hand right now that I have never heard of. I had no idea that Pepsi made a limited edition gingerbread flavor pop.
Wow.
Pepsi gingerbread flavor. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I've never heard of such a thing, but I'm surprised that you'd find it this time of year because I would assume that would be a holiday release.
Yeah, it has snowflakes all over the package. It has a little Christmas tree on the package. I think you call this a can. On the can, there's snowflakes and a Christmas tree.
You can call it a can.
It is definitely a leftover from the holidays, but who would want gingerbread flavored Pepsi? Not me, but I'll try it. Let's see.
Well, this is
Oh, wow, it smells like gingerbread. It smells like someone put a gingerbread man in my pop. Okay, that is a surprise. That's really good.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
Where were these all Christmas? I would have been killing these things, but anyway, I got one. It cost me $5. I'm happy to have it. If for whatever reason anyone out there comes across a gingerbread Pepsi, tell them Jordan, the mailman Bonaparte sent you. And I'm the mailman because I deliver on special drink promises.
Oh, you're the mailman now. Okay.
Let's pass the mic to someone else who's going to deliver a special drink. We have our listener, Jeff, who's famous around these parts. He wants to crack open a cove.
Hey, boys. It's your favorite Minnesota correspondent here, Jeff. I finally found a Cove soda. I have been sitting on it for about 2 weeks now, trying to find the time to actually call in and crack it live for you guys. And I also have a special guest at the end to do my classic parting of the ways with the bye. But here we go. I am gonna crack it. So the Cove soda that I went with is the ice pop. All right, here we go. That's interesting. It's not great. I don't want to crap on Cove soda because you guys had a long history with them, but it's hold on, let me take another sip. Never mind. Yeah, that second sip was way better. It's always sometimes that first sip of a soda is not that great, but no, overall I like it. As a classic, goodbye.
Bye.
Great to hear from you, Jeff. And I'm glad Cove managed to turn that special drink unveiling around because that started off pretty rocky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this is not like, Germany in the late 1930s or Italy, perhaps. But so freedom of speech is very much accepted here and Keep Canada Weird. But my question was, who was the special guest at the end that did the bye?
I'm thinking that's likely his child. Should have given us a name, though. I'm guessing the age based on the pitch of the bye. I'm guessing that was a 12 to 14-year-old.
Really? Well, I'm not going to assume anybody's age here, so that's gotten me in trouble before. So, so I'm going to just leave that still as an unsolved mystery.
Okay. I want to open the show with an interesting story. We don't often do this, but I have a dumb Canadian criminal story. It just came through to us about an hour ago anonymously via thecanadiangothic.com. And this story is so hot that I want to open the show with it. It's a dumb Canadian criminal. Let me tell you this story. A crash investigation in Guelph, Ontario took an unusual turn early Tuesday morning when police asked a suspected impaired driver for his vehicle keys and were instead handed a potato. Guelph police say the officers were called just around 4 a.m. to the scene of a crash involving an SUV pulling a trailer. When they arrived, they found a man asleep behind the wheel in the driver's seat. Officers awoke the man began speaking with him. According to police, he showed several signs of impairment during the interaction. At one point, when officers asked him to hand the keys over for his vehicle, the man allegedly passed them a potato. Police then asked the man to get out of the vehicle. During a search, officers say they found multiple narcotic pipes both on the man and inside the SUV. The driver was arrested and charged with impaired operation and possession of a Schedule I substance. So I'm guessing, as I was reading that, I was thinking this was someone who was drinking. But a Schedule I substance, that's like someone who is smoking drugs or something.
Yeah, some kind of a narcotic of some sort. So
I think it would take a pretty heavy narcotic not only to mistake your keys for a potato, but also just to have a potato on you. There's not really a good reason.
I mean, there are good reasons to have potatoes. To eat them would be one good reason. To have it on
But
you.
would you have it in your car?
Well, I mean, if you just bought the potato, certainly having it in the car, how else would you get it home?
He'd have to have it like in his pocket. Give me your keys. You wouldn't go into your groceries and take a potato. You'd have to go into your pocket. I'm going to go out on a ledge here and say he had a potato in his pocket.
Yeah, definitely had a potato. A potato is a big thing to have in your pocket. It takes up a lot of real estate in that pocket. So,
I just wanted to whet our palates with that dumb Canadian criminal. We got a whole bunch of great, weird Canadian news stories to get into tonight. When we have, after our first break, the first segment of stories we're going to get into, I think it's the first time we've done this. It's a segment of stories all related to signs, I think. One of them is more like an art installation, but it's hung on a wall, which I guess counts as a sign. So let's get right into it here. We'll take our first break. When we get back, we're going to get into some weird Canadian news stories involving signs and other related paper things you would hang on a wall. Handsome Aaron Airport. The first story in our weird Canadian sign segment is going to take us right to your backyard. In Sydney Cape Breton's South End, residents of the Cottage Road neighborhood have apparently decided that the official stop sign was too subtle. So someone added a crude secondary sign underneath the stop sign with an arrow pointing up at the stop sign saying, "This is a stop sign." Let me tell you the story of the condescending stop sign in Cape Breton.
The sign says it all. A resident or residents of this neighborhood in Sydney's South End have taken it upon themselves to try and get drivers to slow down.
I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
Sherry Fogarty lives nearby. What she and her neighbors are less amused by is when vehicles roll through stop signs or simply don't stop at all.
Overnight, during the overnight hours, you can hear them just buzzing up, speeding like crazy. That's when it's, you hear more because the car is going so fast.
I live very close to that stop sign, and there's people flying down this road at 60, 70, 80 kilometers an hour, and they've even seen them going by side, racing.
Like most residential areas, the speed limit here is 50 kilometers an hour. Some of the people who live here say that over the years they have contacted police and other officials about the issue, but the dangerous driving continues.
It's been going on for years. It's not like it just started yesterday.
Yeah, we hear this all over the city.
The MLA for the area has a sign in Sydney's South End asking people to slow down, but says that it's a problem all over the municipality. And with school out for summer, he says that safety on the streets is even more important. Back in this neighborhood, while residents would like to see more tickets handed out, their main concern is
that someone's going to have an accident there and get hurt, seriously. And when that happens, it's going to be too late.
And while the people we spoke with weren't sure who put up this sign, its message is one they were happy to stop and talk about.
I love that story.
Yeah, it's
a slow news day story, but it's a unique slow news day story.
Well, yeah. And I've heard of people talking about this trend on social media with the young folk where they film themselves blowing through stop signs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone...
What a stupid trend.
Yeah, I know. Someone told me about that because they've been seeing people more like kids driving lately that are completely just flying through stop signs and
really?
Filming
I think people
thing.
are just so dumb. I think people are just so dumb that they can't obey a stop sign. People are just in this selfish hurry to nowhere for no good reason, I think is what's going on. But if it is a trend on, TikTok and kids are filming themselves driving through stop signs, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. What do you think of adding a sign underneath a stop sign that says this is a stop sign?
Well, it doesn't really make sense if you are actually trying to stop them from doing it, because they ignored the first one. Why would they listen to the second sign?
Yeah, it's more of an expression of frustration, I think. I think it's showing people that in the community that there's some mystery person out there that is just sick of cars tearing through that stop sign. And it's likely, I think an interesting part of this story, the person behind that sign is likely one of the voices we heard in that newscast.
That's right. It could be a total conspiracy that goes all the way to the top.
Is it a similar expression of community frustration as we saw play out in Fort McMurray when people went and patched up the road because the city didn't do it? Is this kind of like a Cape Breton wish version of that?
Well, I don't think it's on that same level, because this is a very crude sign that was made. It wasn't a professional sign maker that made this additional sign. So I could say it's not a qualified, trained sign maker, but I guess what I would like to know, though, is what are the legalities of making your own road signs?
And just attaching it to the pre-existing poles. I'm sure that it wouldn't be like the criminal code. This would be a city bylaw thing, and I'm sure there's rules about it. It's probably not allowed because we'd see some crazy signs posted around town. That's right. And maybe that's why the person's staying anonymous.
I would say anonymous, too. I wouldn't want my name attached to it. I wouldn't sign it at the bottom like a piece of art.
How did this make it to the news? A, did the newscaster drive by the sign and be like, oh, that's a weird thing someone hung up, and then they just went knocking on doors? Or B, did the Cape Breton sign maker send an anonymous tip in and set this whole thing in motion? Because I just think this could be bigger. We may be only seeing the tip of the iceberg in this.
I hope that is the case, but I think that if the news broadcaster did receive an anonymous tip about this, I think they would have mentioned that in the story, like that we received an anonymous tip. So I think in reality, it probably was your first theory of, out looking for stories. They drive by, they see the sign, they go in and they knock on some doors. But I mean, the sign maker is, are they going to make more signs? Is this just the first, or is there more to come? And what will those signs say? We yield. No, seriously, you should yield, or whatever. What other signs are there?
Well, maybe we can inspire them, because we have some more stories related to signs or things like signs that you would hang up. Okay, let's move on to one of those stories now. I have a weird one. This is a controversial one. It potentially may offend some people out there, so let's tread into this lightly. I want to tell you the story of what's referred to as Piss Christ, which I suppose is a curse that I should maybe add a beep, but I don't think piss. We're all adults here. Let me tell you about it. There's a photograph that's been sparking outrage around the world for decades, and it's now on display in a Fredericton, New Brunswick art gallery, and of course, it brought its long history of controversy with it. Here's the story of the Piss Christ controversy that's been resurrected in New Brunswick.
Andres Serrano's Incarnate, a series of images of Christian symbols mixed in human fluids, is now on display at Fredericton's Beaverbrook Art Gallery. It includes a polarizing piece depicting a crucifix floating in urine, being shown for the first time in Atlantic Canada.
The artist himself made the work as a meditation on his own personal experiences and feelings with his faith, and it has generated a wide variety of responses around the world ever since.
The piece has previously triggered debates in the U.S. over public arts funding, and in 2011, Christian protesters smashed it with a hammer while it was on display in France, a wound that has been preserved within the piece. Doucet is proud to have the piece in the gallery, despite its controversial history. The gallery's decision to display the exhibit has been met with some pushback. St. John St. Croix MP John Williamson in an email said, quote, "I do not agree with censorship of speech, which includes the arts, nor do I agree with insulting other religions either. The Beaverbrook is a great Canadian museum with a world-renowned collection, but this exhibit is what you would expect from a third-rate gallery hoping to be relevant. It's beneath our museum's storied tradition. The Beaverbrook wet the bed with this one." The exhibit will be on display until November 29th.
Man, I've never heard of anything like that. I don't think making its way to, especially not one making its way to an Atlantic Canadian art gallery. This seems like something you'd see on the news it's happening like in the States or something like that. I'm surprised they would bother bringing this down here.
Well, I guess if they're looking for attention, this art gallery, it's a good way to get it. But my biggest concern is not the controversial nature or content of the art piece. It's the color of the urine inside.
Yeah, this guy's definitely dehydrated, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
It's like a deep
super
orange.
dark.
Yeah, it's like a deep orange.
Yeah.
This man should have been checked out, but it's an old photo. Maybe things were done differently in 1987 with hydration. This was before the invention of Gatorade, right?
Yes, but it was during the current health initiative of drinking 8 glasses of water a day.
That's a good point. Yeah, he has some splaining to do. It's this art piece, Piss Christ, is, as we heard it described there, it's a reflection of this, or it's a meditation on this guy's, the artist's thoughts on religion and all this stuff. Like, it had this deep meaning, but I think it's very clearly just about courting controversy and getting some kind of lowbrow attention. And the evidence of that is the fact that once upon a time, these protesters or whatever, like, smashed the glass that the photo is in, but they didn't replace the glass. They kept it there. So it's like the photo of a crucifix in urine with a broken frame. The fact that they kept the broken frame tells me that the controversy and the disgust around it is part of the piece. It's not just about the artist's meditation on religion.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I believe art should be able to say whatever it wants to say. And if people are interested in that, they will go see it. If they're not interested in it, then they won't. And it should be just kind of left at that. I don't believe that any piece of art should be taken down because people don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And so I believe leave it up. If people want to go see it, go see it. If you don't, then don't. And
yeah. And I guess if not enough people go see it, then that's how
you know it sucks.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point. Here's the problem, though, is I wasn't going to go to this art gallery anyway, so I can't really express myself in this on this issue. So I guess I'm going to say right now I don't like this thing. I wouldn't go, even if it came to Halifax.
You wouldn't go. I wouldn't go either. But that's not to say that I don't find it interesting. But again, it's all going back to the color of the urine. I think we need to see what his urine looks like now. And to decide, is he still dehydrated?
That is the burning question.
Or is there a deeper health issue going on here? I would like to see if he urinated into a toilet bowl, if it was very foamy. Maybe he's got kidney issues. I don't know.
Is that a sign of a kidney issue?
I think so.
Of all work for this guy to have hanging around over the last, 30, however many years that has been, it's Piss Christ that has clung to the public discourse. 40 years of Piss Christ. That could be that guy's biography.
40 years of Piss Christ. I'd buy that book. I'd read the book before I'd go see the picture.
That's a good point. The next story related to weird Canadian news involving signs is one I think you will like. And it is sort of parallel with what we just heard, because we talked about urination in toilets, and we all know what part of your body that comes from. That'll be the intro or the teaser for this story. Actually, this is one we're going to have to read. Do you want? I did the last one. Why don't you read this one? Or I'm just going to open up the floor here. If Newsboy wants to get in on this, he can do it.
Let's just take a look here. I just want to see, because a story like Piss Jesus is not appropriate for the Newsboy to read. Yeah. So I just want to take a look at this story first. And
this one is...
you know what? It's not appropriate for the Newsboy. How about the newsman?
Oh, yes. I want to meet him.
Okay, well, here he is. He's right here. Extra, extra. Read all about it. An unfortunate typo shocks Ottawa. A City of Ottawa community initiative recently turned into an accidental language lesson after posters promoting a downtown project appeared with one very unfortunate typo. The posters were to promote the city's streets Seats pilot program, which involves the closure of 3 streets to vehicle traffic, with them instead used as public places where people can gather, sit, and attend events. A nice enough idea.
Let's stop for one sec. So it sounds like what they're doing is in Halifax, downtown Halifax. Actually, I experienced this today. We have a street called Argyle Street, which cars used to drive up and down, but they recently, maybe over the last 5 years or so, they blocked the street to cars, and it's only open to foot traffic. So there's like benches in the street and stuff, and it's kind of like a gathering spot in the heart of downtown Halifax. So it sounds like Ottawa was going to do something like that. But a great way for things to go wrong is with an unfortunate typo. So you keep going.
Okay. But on the French language posters labeling the areas, the phrase, forgive me for my pronunciation on this.
Go for it.
Placettes publiques, meaning public spaces, was missing one very important letter, the letter L. So instead of placettes publiques, the sign reads placettes pubiques. So basically, large purple signs around town promoting pubic spaces, which is not the vibe any city is usually going for when trying to promote outdoor seating. A downtown business association said the mistake was unintentional and described it as a translation error that somehow made it into production. They said once they became aware of it, steps were taken to have the posters corrected.
Yeah.
And before you go any further, again, apologies for me butchering the French language there. Please, I'm not a French speaker or a French reader.
Obvious.
You know, is it? How
or
do
a
you say
spider
that?
expert. Or a spider expert.
or in anything of anything. How would you say that?
Placettes pubiques. No, placettes pubiques is what it should have been, public spaces, but they went with placettes pubics.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've looked at the news stories related to this, but in the areas that were blocked off, there were these big purple signs, and it wasn't like these big animated things with a lot going on. It was just the words in like all caps in French, pubic spaces all around downtown. And they were all put up. They realized, I think, the spelling mistake the day they were put up, so they weren't there very long. But any story involving an unfortunate typo is one I'm interested in hearing. And it's great when that typo creates a word like pubic.
So I'm wondering, while the signs, the incorrect signs were hanging up, do you think somebody could get away with public nudity showing up, like while the signs are up, and then be like, well, that's what the sign said. It was a pubic space. So
yeah. Well, the signs don't say like expose your pubic spaces. I think the signs are just kind of like raising awareness, maybe. Could you get in trouble for grabbing a Sharpie marker and drawing pubic spaces around there?
No, I think it's free game for anything involving pubic hair in it while those signs were up.
Yeah, I think so too. That could have gone really wrong for Ottawa. I think Ottawa's lucky to get out of this with it just being referred to as an unfortunate typo, because this could have been.
Well, who's going to lose their job over this?
Would it be the graphic designer? Would it be the people who hung up the posters? But then again, they're probably Anglophones like you and I. I wouldn't know. It could be a French sign that says like, screw everybody around here. I'd still hang it up.
Screw it. Well, yeah. Well, that could happen in a pubic space. That would be very welcomed, actually, in a pubic space.
That's true. It would be quite fitting. You know what I mean, though. I don't blame the people who hung the signs. I blame, I guess, the person who designed the sign, because you have no business designing French signs if you don't speak French.
Yeah, if you're just using ChatGPT to do your translation, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think if you're working with delicate words like public, and you know you're one L away from saying pubic, I think, if you don't double, triple check what you're spelling when you're spelling public, I think you deserve egg on your face like whoever designed these signs got.
Right. But typos happen. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. It's odd for it to, you would think this type of a situation, this poster would have gone through several levels of editing to make sure that it was correct, but I guess not. And yeah, again, we're all human. And sometimes those mistakes lead to posters that suggest pubic spaces exist and you can enjoy them.
That's a good point. Well, let's put a bow on our signs/paper sign-like objects being hung in art galleries in New Brunswick segment and take our second and final break. When we come back, we'll get into everybody's favorite segment of Keep Canada Weird, simply the WTF segment. This is going to be a collection of stories that are weird, unique, and unusual, but not fitting any specific theme. Right after a short break, we're going to hear Drake's latest WTF story. Handsome Aaron Airport. For our first WTF story, we're going to check in with Drake, the famous musician out of Toronto. It seems when he does anything, it ends up on Keep Canada Weird lately. He's done it again. Drake is continuing his weird newsworthy promotion of his latest album, Iceman. Previously, he revealed the release date by putting it on a piece of paper frozen inside a large ice structure in Toronto. Now he's throwing a party and inviting anyone with the name Janice to attend. I didn't realize this, but I guess a hit song off of the Iceman album is called Janice, Shut the F Up. And I guess a lot of women named Janice aren't happy with him, and this is going to be Drake's way of apologizing. This is going to be one of those two-part news clip things. Let's hear about the announcement of Drake's apology to every Janice.
Drake released his latest album, Iceman, last month, which featured a hit single that had some unkind words for anyone named Janice.
Now, the rapper is set to host an apology party for all the Janices of the world this weekend. Sam East, host with 99.9 Virgin Radio, joins us live for our regular segment, Chronically Online. Sam, this sounds interesting. Is this for real?
This is for real. It's so real, Nathan and Michelle, that people are joking or maybe even serious that they may legally change their name to Janice. Now, the song in question is Janice, followed by some expletives that I will not repeat here. We do play the clean version on Virgin Radio. So as an apology, perhaps a love letter to Janice's, you're invited to come out to the Cactus Club this Sunday in Toronto. Now, you will need a government ID to prove that your legal name is indeed Janice. So, Nathan, I don't know if you're thinking about switching up.
Okay. Do you know anything about this song?
No, I know nothing about the song. I'm not a Drake fan, so I would never. Yeah.
I listened to just a little bit of the song to see like what he actually said. To me, it just was him just like kind of rapping about all different stuff, and then every so often this voice would like come on. It would say, "Janice, shut the F up," and it was sort of like, I don't know if you'd say the chorus or it was just kind of like a refrain throughout the song. But anyway, we understand what's happening here. He has a song that tells Janice to shut the F up countless times. He's throwing a party as an apology, but certainly it's a promotional thing. You want to hear how it went? Because it does backfire.
Oh, something Drake did promotionally backfires. Yeah, let's hear it.
A massive lineup, hundreds of women hoping to get into an exclusive party for one thing they all have in common. What's your name?
Janice. I'm Janice. My name is Janice. Janice!
The event at the Cactus Club, a formal apology to the Janices of Toronto from rapper Drake for using their name in his hit single that doesn't have any kind words for someone named Janice and repeatedly tells them to shut up.
For me to hear my name in a song like that, and it's in such a derogatory term, I was just like, come on, Drake, you can do better. We don't deserve this.
In order to attend the event organized by Drake's team, guests had to RSVP and show government ID to prove their legal first name is Janice. Why did you want to be here?
To meet all the other Janices, to support the song. It's so cool.
Drake invited all of us to say I'm sorry, so we're all here, and hopefully he'll be here to apologize in person.
Many surprisingly received an invite on social media, like Janice, who took the train from London.
I think that we are all also surprised the age demographic here. I'm 40. Everybody keeps saying, oh, this is going to be a 65 plus party. And if you look around, it is not.
Inside, they were wined and dined by Drake's team with a 3-course lunch, plus raffles for cash prizes.
Some lucky lady got $2,500.
It was awesome. Drake is giving out cash in there.
But Drake wasn't here, and with capacity capped at 150, not every Janice who RSVP'd and showed up got in.
Can't get in with the RSVP.
Why is that?
We're not on the list.
Some seeking another apology from Drake.
I drove all the way from Bowmanville, and I'm here. Do your thing. You're Drake.
You swear at us you're trying to make it right, but it's actually even worse right now.
While others admit there is a consolation prize.
It was so fun meeting so many other Janices.
Those who did get in say it's...
Apology is accepted.
Wow.
Oh, is that a weird news story or is that just annoying?
It's both, really.
It is right. It's smack dab in the center.
What was he thinking having the party hosted and then not being there himself?
Yeah.
What kind of an apology is that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A lot of people probably went there thinking they're going to get a chance to see Drake and meet Drake. I don't know why he wouldn't go. It seems, especially where they were only letting a limited amount of people and stuff, it seems like it was under control. He should have showed up there.
And now he's got to apologize to the Janices who couldn't get in.
Mm-hmm. And came all that way. People came from all over to get, in the end, the chance to win $2,500 and a free meal. But really, it's obvious what this is all about. This is just some stupid promotional thing. And I think it's such a slap in the faces to all the Janices that not only does he have a song telling them to shut up, but he's also using them as like pawns in this promotional game and breaking their hearts.
And I was surprised when he did the ice sculpture promotional thing with the album release date inside, and people showed up to try and get it. And I'm surprised at this, that people actually show up for Drake stuff now. Like, I just assumed that Drake was no longer a relevant artist anymore.
Oh, he is. He's huge. We don't know, but he is huge.
I guess I'm just really... I mean, I knew he was a massive artist at one time. I just thought that his time in the sun was over.
I thought so too. And his music has never moved me. When I listen to Drake stuff, it's just whatever like language that speaks and whatever vibes that give off. It just it doesn't do it for me.
No, me either. I've never heard a Drake song that I thought, wow, it's a good song. I like that. I'll listen to it again.
But his music may not move me. It may not speak to me. Another thing that doesn't really speak to me is those crappy Facebook and YouTube ads I see from time to time that looks like a super AI generated Mark Carney or some other world leader giving me advice that involves investing in Bitcoin. You must have seen some of these things, right?
I've seen them around, yeah. I've been quickly scrolling past them on TikTok.
Yeah, and sometimes it looks like it's, I'll use Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney as an example, but I see ones on occasion where it looks like Mark Carney's like on CBC, like giving some Bitcoin advice or something, and it's clearly all AI because his mouth looks weird as it's moving with the voice and stuff. I see that stuff. I hate it. But people fall for it, and we talk about scams and the scammed here on Keep Canada Weird. It's happened again. An 86-year-old woman from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, says she's lost more than $900,000 after clicking on a Facebook ad featuring an AI-created video of Prime Minister Carney promoting a cryptocurrency investment program. Let's hear the story of the woman who was scammed by AI Carney for almost $1 million. This one is pretty bleak.
It's so frustrating, so devastating.
86-year-old Judy Skeen of Sault Ste. Marie says last summer she was online when she noticed an interesting investment opportunity.
From that point on, the algorithm earns on your behalf.
I saw an ad on Facebook of Mark Carney telling me that if I invested $350 Canadian, it would be backed by the Bank of Canada.
Skeen made the initial investment and the next day got a call from someone claiming it had already tripled in value. Over the next few months, she invested everything she had, even taking out a mortgage on her condo.
So I agreed then to put a mortgage of almost $300,000 on my condominium.
She believed her investments had almost doubled, but in reality, she had been scammed out of $900,000.
All my money was gone.
Her condo fees were bouncing. Her insurance on her car and her condo was bouncing.
Friends like Pat Probert stepped in to help when Skeen said she was so distraught she felt like taking her life. He's also been trying to warn others about investment fraud.
If you know a senior that's alone, reach out to them. Make sure that somebody is on a bank account as an emergency contact.
An AI expert says companies that allow the posting of scam videos should be held accountable.
Let's remember, they're making money off of these scams. These ads are running on social media platforms. This is a revenue stream for these apps.
Skeen says clicking on that one ad changed her life forever.
Just be alert and be careful what you see on Facebook.
Oh, that breaks my heart. I feel so bad for her. They literally took her for everything. And I agree. And I think the big point of this story is what the AI expert they quoted said is that like the platforms should have some responsibility in this. If Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and whoever else are willing to open the doors wide open for evildoers to buy ads purely with the goal of ripping off people, the vulnerable, like this sweet little lady in Sault Ste. Marie, I think there should be some repercussions.
Well, I mean, there won't be any until there's some kind of, laws or legislation that's put into place to prevent the social media companies from allowing this type of content. So,
yeah,
until the rules come from above, they're not going to do anything about it because that's resources, that's money they have to spend to prevent these ads from going out. They're not going to do that unless their hand is forced.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, you can't really force their hand because these companies, like the way social media is now, these companies like Meta are like bigger than our government. Like Canada, we don't even need to get into the whole like news ban thing on Facebook and Instagram and all this stuff. But the Canadian government can tell Facebook all what to do all at once, but it's like it doesn't seem to do anything. But then again, we are talking in Canada. We haven't gotten into this on the show. There is discussion surrounding the potential social media ban for children in Canada.
That's right.
My son brought it up today, and that'd be interesting. I can't say I completely disagree with it, but I don't want to support a social media ban for the elderly, but it's like any vulnerable person, there's a risk for them on social media, whether it's kids or senior citizens or people with, cognitive problems and stuff. It's, there's people on there who are looking to take your money. And whether you're on Facebook or walking down the mean streets of Cape Breton, some bad person, maybe they're trying to get you. The difference, I guess, is that the social media site can control it. They just don't because there's way more money to be made by just having the whole thing be automated.
Yeah, because these people are paying them money to run this content, but there should be technology that they can put in place that if an ad is running and it was created using AI or it has certain red flags or warning signs in it, then there should be a disclaimer that the social media company immediately places on the video to say, you know, this is financial content that was created using AI or whatever it is, to kind of give people a warning that when they're viewing this content, that there are things to consider.
Yeah, as well as if you have ads and it's being reported by users as, you know, a scam or whatever, then Facebook should have something set up where that ad's taken down and whoever's behind at the IP address or whatever can't easily continue to do this sort of stuff. And what's extra dark and extra bleak about this, I've bought ads on Facebook for Canadian Gothic episodes and stuff. Like a few times I've had, you know, an episode come out and it involves a story for Winnipeg. So I'll buy and I can pay to make it so that that post will be shown to people in Winnipeg who normally wouldn't have seen it. And that's the way targeted ads work on Facebook and everywhere else, I assume. But one part of it that's extra bleak is not only can you target a post geographically, but you can choose other demographics. Like I could say, show this to 70-plus-year-olds using Facebook. And I bet you some of these scams, if not all these scams, they're choosing seniors specifically in their promotion. That I can hear Ken Tiggs in the background. Is he okay?
He's upset about it too. He was listening to the stories with me earlier, and he's upset at Meta that they let this occur.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think Ken Tiggs is going to like this next story. This is our final story of the night, and it involves pets. A Halifax man traveling to Winnipeg with the ashes of his beloved dog hit an unexpected problem when the cremated remains were rejected by security staff. When he explained the reason for his trip and the need to bring the remains, it only got more unusual. Here's the story of the pet cremation tattoo rigmarole in Halifax.
Vincent Mass's dachshund, Balthazar, traveled the world with him, so when the beloved dog died at 16, Mass wanted a way to keep Balthazar with him.
I wanted something that was both portable, but that cannot be lost.
He decided on a cremation tattoo, but the only artist specialized in integrating ashes into tattoo ink is in Winnipeg. He had traveled with the box of Balthazar's ashes before at Christmas, no problem. This time, they put it through the CT X-ray scanner at the Halifax airport, and it was rejected.
What I quickly found out is that even that highest ranked person on the floor does not have the ability to manually bypass the decision of the machine.
They said he could put it in his checked baggage, but as a frequent flyer, he knew luggage can get lost or damaged. And he said no way.
Yeah, so he called me from the airport, very upset. My solution was maybe go home and take out a little bit of ashes because we only need a little bit for the tattoo.
Mass got a refund for his flight and booked another for an extra $900. Under tattoo artist Carrie Parnell's guidance, he put a small bit of the ashes into this, then returned to the airport.
Thank God the Ziploc passed and everyone was relieved.
The Canadian Air Transport Security Authority says cremated remains are a dense material that can be difficult to screen, but adds ashes may pass if less than 350 milliliters and in a wood or plastic container.
Loved ones need to be able to travel with their whole loved ones in cabin.
The only fully reliable way that I found out to pass ashes through security is by having it tattooed on your skin.
Not everyone can do what he did, Mass says, and shouldn't even have to.
I've never heard of such a thing as a pet cremation tattoo. I would think there'd be kind of like health concerns associated with injecting even small amounts of ash under your skin.
I would assume the same thing. I would be quite concerned about it. It's an interesting idea, I guess. And I mean, it must be generally safe if there are professionals that do it. But it seems like those professional tattoo artists that deal with ashes in tattoos are few and far between, because he had to travel quite far to
across the country to find one.
Find someone to do it.
When he first left it, like we're listening to the audio of it, but the video of this shows a bit more information. When he was his first attempt to board the plane, he brought like the full ashes thing. It was like a little wooden box that had all of the dog's ashes in it. The second time trying, he brought a Ziploc bag with just a very small amount of ashes. And what that tells me is that this process involving putting the ashes in the ink, it's probably just the most subtle sprinkle of these ashes.
Yeah, it's more, it's almost the idea of the ashes being in there. Knowing that there's a little tiny, tiny bit is a comforting thing for people to know that some of the animal is in that tattoo.
Is with you forever. I think that's a nice idea. I get the want to keep your animal close for eternity. I just don't know if this would be something I'd be interested in. Why not just get a tattoo of the dog?
Yeah, just a tattoo is, and I guess you want to keep them with you. The tattoo is just a picture of them, whereas this tattoo literally is a small piece of the animal ingrained into the tattoo.
I don't want to get too deep on this, but is the ashes a part of what you like loved? Because it's, I often think about how the body is just the whether it's of the animal or the human or whatever, the body is just like the flesh machine we move ourselves around in. The thing that you loved with that dog evaporated into space when it passed away. So I think keeping a little bit of its body is no different. I don't know. I would feel more of a connection to if I had a little piece of the dog's hair or something.
Yeah, a little piece of the fur might do it, but one thing that would concern me, and probably why I wouldn't do this, is that I've heard some awful stories about pet cremations where it's not 100% certainty that you're getting, like the ashes that you're getting are 100% your animal.
Oh, so you get, Imagine you were allergic to cats and you get your dog's ashes, you get it tattooed into your skin, and then you have an allergic reaction, and turns out you just had some cat, injected into you.
Yeah,
that could happen.
Maybe. I don't know how allergies travel into once. We're getting into some super dark stuff here, which is not for this show. But
yeah, maybe we need a palate cleanser, because I got one if you want to move on to something to lighten the mood.
Yeah. Something a little lighter that...
Something about dancing?
Oh, yeah. I love dancing.
We have a voice. Let's end with a couple voicemails back to back here. We have a correspondent named Angela who listened to our segment last week about the fella who in Sherwood Park, Alberta, who got I think it was a $1,400-ish fine for dancing on the sidewalk of a busy roadway. You were quite celebratory of this guy's dancing. I had some issues surrounding it, and Angela, I guess, has a challenge for me. Listen to this.
Handsome Aaron Airport. You know what? You were right about the dancing. Jordan Bus Stop Bonaparte, you are totally wrong. You know what? I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you, Jordan, to do 10 minutes on the street of dancing. 10 minutes. You can play music and just dance. And then let us know how you feel. I bet you'll feel awesome. This is Angela. Have a great day, and I love your show. Love it.
If you love the show, why do you want me to get arrested? Obviously appearing impaired on the sidewalk in front of my house, probably. Maybe
this is again, but that's your negative view of public dancing that's bleeding into your opinion there. So you just assume that if you were to go out in the streets of your neighborhood and dance on the sidewalk, that other people would assume that you're impaired.
I'm projecting my thoughts on public dancing to everyone else.
Yeah.
Maybe are you saying that if I go out in public dance, people may celebrate it? Perhaps people will even join me, and that it's more accepted than I think?
That's right. And I think that if there's someone who passes by you while you're publicly dancing alone, ask them what they think of it.
Okay. What's weirder than seeing someone publicly dance on the sidewalk alone? The weirder thing would be them also forming a
chasing you
conversation
down and asking you, what do you
Excuse
think?
me.
What do you think?
How
Hello.
does this make you feel?
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know, Angela. I'll think about it. If I do decide to dance for 10 minutes outside on a sidewalk, I will report back on Keep Canada Weird. I do want to report on something else, though, because I do expose myself quite a bit, specifically in my celebration of the link between the episode number and other things such as mathematical properties or area codes. It's something I'm quite defensive about. I know Aaron doesn't enjoy it, and a lot of listeners have tuned out. Our downloads have just dropped off tremendously ever since I've begun doing this. So I am quite defensive about it. And whenever I have positive reinforcement, it's something I related to the numbers. It's something I want to celebrate. We got a voicemail from Alex. He heard episode 218, and it hit him personally and made him feel even a greater connection to Canada. He's an international listener. It gave him an extra special, it reminded him of his extra special connection to Canada. And being Canada Day, I think it's important to play this. Here's how Alex felt when he heard his area code mentioned.
Hey guys, that was a fun reference to 218. I'm sitting here in northern Minnesota in Bemidji, and my phone's area code is 218, so I feel like I have some authority to pipe into the show here. That was quite fun. Thanks for shouting out our area code, and I appreciate that you stated that Minnesota is Canada adjacent, because especially these days, we wish we were part of Canada. So from your northern friends here in northern Minnesota, shout out to our friends on Keep Canada Weird.
We bring people together here. That's what we do, Aaron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I appreciate the things he said about wishing he was part of Canada, and that's very sweet and nice. And yeah, and I look forward to 10 years from now when a Canadian area code is mentioned, and we can have a Canadian call into the show and feel good about it.
Yeah, we're in Nova Scotia. Our area code is 902, so it's going to be a while. Toronto's 416. I think we'll get there eventually. Let's just keep doing what we do. We're at 220. We're going to get to everyone, and we apologize to everyone we missed. But I don't think there's a lot of area codes in the 100s.
No, I've
never heard of one.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to put a bow on this. We've been going long. We had a lot of weird news stories over the last week, so we had to do extra duty. Luckily, I had the Pepsi gingerbread flavored stuff to power us through it, and I will say it's delicious. I know you enjoyed your Fresca. I've been watching you enjoy it, so I think we've done enough.
Watching me enjoy my Fresca. Eh? We used to talk about how you used to love watching seniors eat ice cream. Remember that? Remember those days?
Yeah, those are good old days.
Well, yeah. And now you're saying that you really love watching me enjoy my drink.
It's always, when we go to record, I always say, Aaron, make sure you turn your video on, adjust your camera, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
As long as you feel a way about it.
Yeah, there's a voyeuristic charm to having a nice Fresca and knowing that someone's watching me. Makes me enjoy the drink a little more, I guess. But then there's another part of me that I like to enjoy my Fresca in total privacy. Just knowing that it's just me and the drink. And it's refreshing and it's delicious and it's something that's for me. It's not for anybody else. And I would just appreciate if you are going to watch me drink it, ask permission first.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe it's something we should talk about off episode.
Yeah, well, I have no problem talking about it with the listeners here.
Okay. We'll talk about it next week.
Open up the show with you asking if you can watch me.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you then.
All right. We've been through a lot. We're leaving here with some unsettled feelings. Let's put a bow on this. Handsome Aaron Airport, until next time.
Jordan, bus stop, backhoe, watching Bonaparte. Until next time.
I want to put a call out. I want to end with a call out to the listeners. Something I would like is recordings of listeners saying, this week on Keep Canada Weird. I would like recordings of them saying, Keep Canada Weird. We'll be right back after this message. And I would like recordings of them saying, Thank you for keeping Canada weird. You can go to thecanadiangothic.com/contact, use the voice recorder, and record yourself saying any or all of those phrases, and you may hear yourself in upcoming episodes. And it has nothing or no similarities to me watching Aaron drink pop.
Okay, because I was kind of making that connection in my mind, like, man, he's really accumulating a catalog of pictures and videos of me drinking drinks and listeners saying, this week on Keep Canada Weird.
Yeah, I'm working on some production stuff, so it's nothing to do with you drinking pop. I'm just going to use some of these recordings in the episodes.
Oh, okay.
Now your turn.
And Jordan, until next time, I'll leave you with a little teaser of the kind of drink content that you might get next week. He's screaming in the background. He ruined my whole thing.
I want to thank you for helping Aaron and I fulfill our mission to keep Canada weird. Now, if any one of you listening want to get more involved in what we're doing, we need all the correspondence we can get. So if something weird happens in your area, or if you have any thoughts on anything we discussed tonight, let us know about it. The best way to reach us is by using the voice recorder that can be found at thecanadiangothic.com/contact. Now, I'm going to start wrapping up the episode, but before we part, let us thank a few people. First of all, Aaron and I want to give a big thank you to all the correspondents who contributed to this episode. If your voice message was aired on the show, go back to thecanadiangothic.com/contact and fill out the form to claim your swag pack and Keep Canada Weird badge. We'll happily get it right out to you. Next, a big shout out to Unicole for the intro and outro voiceovers, and Monty Data, who provides the outro version of O Canada that you're about to hear. And then lastly, but most importantly, we have a massive thank you to every one of you listening, as without your interest and your support, this work would be impossible. And for any one of you out there who want to support the show financially and get more out of the show at the same time, please consider the premium feed. Our premium feed subscription costs just a couple bucks a month, and that money will fund the creation of new episodes. But the premium feed will also give you those episodes early, give them to you ad-free, and give you access to a full back catalog of Keep Canada Weird episodes and bonuses. You can go premium at thecanadiangothic.com/subscribe. And even if the premium feed isn't for you, you can still support the show by simply sharing episodes on social media. That's free, and it's a big help. So until next time, take care of each other, hug your loved ones tight, and please keep Canada weird.
And keep Canada weird. Please keep Canada weird.
And now to our viewers and listeners everywhere. Good night.
Hi, this is Alyssa from Surrey. I just wanted to say thank you for keeping Canada weird. I really enjoyed listening to the show with my husband. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoy the rain, and hopefully it helps ease all of the smoke in the air from the wildfires. All right, take care.
Hey, Jordan and Aaron, just listening to the follow-up on the Black Widow story that you guys covered. I am from Ontario, actually originally from Nova Scotia. Love the podcast, but I just want you guys to do a quick Google search. Black Widow, Canada map. You might be surprised at what you see. Keep Canada weird.